Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Um, Today we're going to be talking about my marathon experience. I believe that everybody can do hard things because the marathon was excruciating. At some point I was asking Festus, like, bro, who sent us to do this thing? Like, we were suffering at 35 kilometers, but it was worth it at the end when we got to the finish line, got our medals, met friends on the road. So how did this all start? I started running just because some of my friends at the gym were running too, and they said that, oh, like I was a bit fat. Anyways, and running would help me sort of tone down a bit, and so that the gains that I've made from the gym would show properly. So I took to it. I started running at Chuka's house. I went to Chuka's house for my first running. So we're supposed to run 5 kilometers, but this is 2.78, and I'm exhausted. Run. And we ran through his estate, and Chuka was like, oh, we'll run for 2 minutes and then rest for 2 minutes. It was my first time running for that long, and I almost died, right? And we did a 5 kilometer run thanks to Chuka. It was hard, but I did it. Then afterwards, I ran for a course. I think it's bipolar. We did a 5 kilometer run. During the 5 kilometers, I rested 4 times. Like I would walk 4 times in between the 5 kilometer run. And I was pausing those times that I was not running. And I covered it. I think I finished in like 40 minutes. Then I got introduced to the Access Bank marathon, and I ran the 10K for the first time. Mostly walked than run, but yeah, I did that. And then I had struggles with running, and I think I also got injured, so it affected me in April 2024, and I didn't run until July. So in July, when I got back into running, I joined a run club, and that really helped me to build consistency. There's a beautiful experience when you get to do things with the community. I say a lot when it comes to cryptocurrency, when the market is dipping, and I'm like, make I call Murphy or make I call IC. Once I call them and I hear that after your money did this market like this really deep, they say yes, okay, that's great. It will be they lose. So the community of like winning or losing together sort of puts your mind at ease. So that's what the TRC community did for me. Then I started running more often. I was doing a 5K, 10K. Then they announced that the marathon is happening in February 2025 and we should all start training for it. I registered for a marathon without ever running more than, I think the highest I had done at that time was a 12 kilometer run. And I had euphoria. Like, it felt like I was on drug when I got to the 11 kilometer, because it was an amazing thing and I had never done it before. So now only having done 12 kilometers, I'm supposed to run a 42 kilometer, 42.2 kilometer, which is a marathon, 26.2 miles, thereabouts. That's how I started training, and I was suffering every single week in, week out. I was suffering. Then I did my first 21 kilometer last year, I think in December. Through my training, I had to do 3 half a marathon, and I did 24 kilometers. I did 28 kilometers. The day I was supposed to do a 28 kilometer, I stopped at 23 because like nobody sent me. This was pure suffering. Then that passed, and I had to do a 30 kilometers. Oh no, 31 kilometers. And at 18, I'm like, okay, we're done. Then I came on WhatsApp and I got encouraged by a friend, like, you've done 18, you don't have to quit now, just try. If you walk and run, just make sure that you complete it. Well, I did 30, so I completed it, I guess. Then I think that was the longest run before the marathon day. But so far, a lot of things happened like throughout the 15 weeks of training for the marathon. I built capacity, I built endurance, and I grew mentally. Like my mental strength grew. I saw myself as somebody that could do hard things. It was really difficult. I was always in pain. Some days I run and I fall sick because my body was pushed beyond its normal limits. So I get home, I have headache. There was a day the first time I did half a marathon, I came home. I had to ask these guys that, bro, like I'm feeling sick. Is this a normal thing? Because it was new to me, and then everybody laughed at the rookie. Like, yeah, this is just a newbie. Yes, this is what normally happens. But I kept on, I stuck to it. I stuck to my program, stuck to my routine, running 4 times a week through the pain, through the sessions that I would enjoy. Some days at 2 kilometers, I'm already regretting the fact that I started running. But through it all, I kept on. And today, I can get into conversations and brag that I'm a marathoner. What time did I finish? None of your business. I finished running a marathon, all right? And it makes me more confident that the next time I would run a marathon, I'll be able to beat the time I set for my first marathon, and I will constantly improve as I go. I think the major lesson I would want to pass across with my journey on my first marathon is the fact that we are able to do hard things. Like, difficult things as they sound are not impossible. They are hard, but we can do them. I did this. I'm not encouraging you to run, but like if you want to run, why not? It's very doable. Or anything that you want to do that looks like it's going to be hard. As a newbie, you will struggle, you will fail, you would feel disappointed, you would want to give up. But the difference between you and every other person is the fact that you stuck to it, and you get to the point where you become excellent at it, or like better than most people. This makes me remember when I joined the run crew and I was running one of the group runs, I think on a Thursday, and somebody they asked me, we normally have the conversation, oh, what distance do you do today? I said I did a 7 kilometer run. And this guy was saying that, why would you do a 7 kilometer? Can't you just do 10 or 15 or something? And he was persistent with it, as if he's trying to say I did something wrong. And when I was pacing myself and doing it how I felt like I could grow, I had to tell him that you run for your body, I run for my body. Whatever distance I can cover, I am doing it for myself, and you don't have to be pressed or worried about me. Right? So you get into a point where people do not understand what you are onto, where people would even make mockery of you because they don't get it, or where people that are doing better than you currently would make you feel like you are less than, or you're not trying enough. But it's important that you don't let it get to you. You stick to your program, stick to your routine, and constantly remind yourself that you can do hard and impossible things, even if only you just try and keep practicing. Thank you for watching so far, and I hope that you subscribe to this channel, and see you in the next video. Bye.